Hello everyone, my name is Joanna. I'm one of the English Bilingual instructors, and today I'm going to show you an exercise called a tongue twister that will help you with your pronunciation, especially for those hard sounds for Spanish native speakers to get in English. All right, one of those first sounds is the V sound, like V as in Valencia. So here in Madrid, I've noticed that V as in Valencia is said the exact same way as B as in Bilbao. Now, while this is pretty common in Madrid, if you do the same sort of pronunciation in English, it can be confusing because there are words that are spelled or sound very similar, except for one starts with V and one starts with B. Okay? For example, you have vow, which is a promise, or bow, which is a gesture showing respect, like this. Okay, that is a bow. Okay, another one is very, which is used to show emphasis or to show something is exact or precise. For example, those were her very words, or berry, which is a fruit. Okay, now while many sort of native English speakers find these pronunciations to be endearing, many of my students don't like it because they don't want to make these mistakes while giving a business presentation or on the phone with an English-speaking customer, okay? They want to make sure that they're as clear and precise as possible. So, my favorite tongue twister to help with this is Vincent vowed vengeance very vehemently. Okay, now the key is to make sure that you're making that V sound, and you do that by letting your top teeth rest inside your bottom lip with enough space for air to go through. Okay, and the way that you know that's happening is you feel it. It sort of buzzes or tickles. Okay, so remember, Vincent vowed vengeance very vehemently. Another common pronunciation mix-up is that native Spanish speakers like to put E's before S words in English. For example, we speak Spanish in Spain, all right? And I know that's common because a lot of Spanish words begin with ES and not really just S. For example, español or España. However, if you want to make sure that you minimize this sort of pronunciation, I would use the tongue twister, Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Okay, not only will this help you reduce putting E's in front of S's, but it also helps you make sure that you're switching between S sounds and sh sounds. Okay, so Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Last but not least, this is a tongue twister focusing on using all of the muscles in your tongue, but it's also very focused on the G sound, okay? Which isn't that common of a problem for Spanish speakers, but this is my favorite tongue twister, so I thought I'd share it with you. It's only 4 words: girl gargoyle, guy gargoyle, okay? So, I'm sure many of you are thinking, well, that wasn't hard. I just said it with you and I didn't make any mistakes. But the way tongue twisters work is you say the phrases as quickly as you can without making any mistakes, okay? So for example, you'll start out saying Vincent vowed vengeance very vehemently, but by the time you master it, you'll be able to say Vincent vowed vengeance very vehemently. Okay, same thing with Sally. You'd start with Sally sells seashells by the seashore, and by the end you'll say Sally sells seashells by the seashore. And last but not least, you'll say girl gargoyle, guy gargoyle, and you'll end up saying girl gargoyle, guy gargoyle. All right, now how I like to use these in my classes is I always begin my classes with these tongue twisters. I sort of, depending on the student, I'll have them say each one twice or 3 times to sort of help them begin the process of thinking in English, as well as using the English pronunciation, okay? Without V's being B's or without E's being in front of S's, okay? And at the end of my classes, I use tongue twisters as well. And what I do is I set a timer for 20 seconds and I ask my student to say each of the 3 tongue twisters I just showed you as quickly as they can in a row without any mistakes. You'd be amazed at the progress that you make using the tongue twisters these way. If you like to use them before a bilingual conversational class, it really helps you to, again, start thinking in English before we even get started, but also reduce those pronunciation mistakes. Okay, and it's also a really fun way to sort of challenge your friends to a very quick game to see who can say the most of the tongue twisters in a short amount of time, and then loser buys the cañas. So I hope that this helped. Again, my name is Joanna, and thanks for using Bilingual.